Welcome to Metagame, the gaming and media podcast from Spawn Camp Council, the think tank that takes content to the highest tier of excellence. Tonight we're giving you the hottest information on the latest games, so boot up, log in, and enjoy the show. This week, Harry Potter refuses to Ava his cadavra, Dr. Disrespect sinks no ships, Baby Yoda rattles quarantine, Avengers gets mini fixes, and WandaVision. But we aren't talking about any of that crap tonight. Tonight, I'm your host, Adam 12, with our co-hosts, SolidScorpionZ, OldDirtyRobot, and the caster whose light touches everything in our kingdom, KingDawes.
Hey ho!
How's everybody doing?
Yo.
Good boys, how are you?
Doing well. So I said we're not going to talk about Avengers, but we are going to talk about Avengers. Because it's time for This Week in Failure. This week, of course, it's Marvel's Avengers. In addition to fan backlash and limiting Spider-Man to the PS4, games have been riddled with bugs and uninspiring gameplay. They finally released a patch, and people are talking about the number of things that it fixed. I'd rather not do that. The main thing is that there were small graphical errors all the way up to non-progression of gameplay. That's on console and PC. I know we haven't had raving reviews of this game, you guys.
All I've heard is that it's bad.
What do you think the future is of this game? I mean, they put a lot of money in this property.
They're just going to keep rolling on it until it doesn't make money anymore.
It's kind of like, what was the Marvel other, like Heroes United or something? What's the one that they had?
The one that's on the Switch?
Heroes Alliance or something.
Heroes Alliance.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah.
I thought there was like a open world sort of thing they did, like a Neverwinter Night, or not Neverwinter Nights. What was the...
No, that was like a hero, like create your own hero, like MMO.
Did they come out with something like DC Universe or something? Wasn't it like a DC Universe version?
DC Universe Online, yes. That was really cool.
But did they make a Marvel one, though? I thought they had something that really tanked quickly.
I don't think so. I don't remember any Marvel one. But yeah, Avengers, from what I've seen, is just absolutely, like, a lot of people have fun with it initially, and then it just drops off, and they're like, well, this is done. Yeah,
and I think the long term on this is that they're going to have like lots of characters you can buy at $10 each, I believe, right? Didn't we report on that? $10 a piece for each character that comes up in the future?
There's a battle pass per character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Battle pass
per character.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't underestimate the MCU audience. The average PlayStation, Xbox buyer. It's a pretty game. If you want to smash with the Hulk, it's okay for that. I think where they went wrong with this is making it into a games of service, but that
absolutely,
they paid a lot for the property, and that's how they probably planned on recovering a lot of that.
Right.
What they should have done is just made a fantastic, like, team-based RPG, or like a team-based action brawler, something that you can maybe play with a couple friends, or you can have AI with yourself and just do that. Like, why did they just do that? Like, I mean, I'll look at all the Lego Batman games. Those are like just DC games.
Just follow the Lego roadmap. Those games are hits. Just do that, but in 3D, like, nice cinematic views. And
Cannibal Wonder, though, for what they paid for the property, could that do it? Would that be enough?
I mean, you crank out a couple of those that sell, 7-8 million units each, and you're looking at a pretty successful franchise, especially if you keep adding new characters, like, not even as DLC, you wouldn't need to. You could just, you could add them as DLC, but then, like, just make another game with more characters in it, like kind of like Lego was doing.
Yeah.
It all comes back to Legos.
Yeah.
I think they got the co-op part down. I mean, it's okay to play with other people. It's just the game progression loop isn't very interesting.
On the new game?
Yeah, on the
I've seen a lot of people playing, a lot of friends playing it, and like the co-op part of it, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's sustainable over long term. I just don't see it.
Aren't there supposed to be like raids or something in it too?
It seems like you're just riding the MCU wave, and we're at the tail end of that right now. There's not a whole lot going on with the MCU, and I don't see this breathing a whole lot of life back into it.
Yeah, well, I mean, all the delays on the movies and everything else is going on.
Right.
Comic books have been sort of a big, huge mess lately. They're moving a lot of stuff towards the digital media. So, not a lot of people going to comic book stores and stuff. There's a lot of weird shit happening.
You bring this game out like 3 years ago and it would have sold bank.
Oh, when
I tell you, I bet this is a top 5 seller at the end of the Christmas season.
Think so?
It's a game that like
More than
all
likely.
of us would not really
Kids
get
love it,
deeply
though.
involved. Yeah, kids love this shit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It would not surprise me if it ended up being a top 5 seller. COD won, and then Cyberpunk.
still.
You're just talking about later quarter. You're not talking about like Animal Crossing versus.
I'm thinking like into the fourth quarter. Yeah, not total year, like fourth quarter coming out of Christmas.
Okay. That makes sense. Well, I know one of us is really excited. I think we're all really excited because we play D&D weekly. Frost Maiden. Yeah, Solid Scorpion. When you think about it, you've gotten a tiptoe into the content. And don't spoil it because we got a campaign coming up. But,
I won't spoil it. There's one thing I want to tell you guys so bad, but I'm just going to not say anything about it until it hopefully happens. It's like not even a thing that's for sure going to happen either. It's crazy. Yeah, the content's real good. I feel you could really use it as like a setting more even than just like an adventure, because it brings in kind of like that Arctic, post-apocalyptic like feeling to it,
survival horror.
Well, yeah, and I've been listening to a few different like channels talk about it, and just kind of like I found a couple like actual play games, and one of them was really good. I'll look it up while we're kind of going over other stuff for it, but they did fully voice act all their moves and stuff as they're playing, and then just have like a check here or there. But it's like it sounds like it's professionally done. I know it's for sure not, but it's very good. I'll look it up. But
you're happy about it? You think it's gonna be good for us to play?
I believe so. It's not like I don't know. It's not like any of the other adventures that I've like really read. Mm-hmm. Seems pretty unique and pretty cliche D&D, but like fun.
Okay.
Nonetheless. The people that I listened to today doing it was called Red Moon Role Playing.
Okay.
And it was just fantastically done. But I think everyone will probably have a lot of fun with it. There are some other things in there, like secrets and stuff that players get that, we still have to go. We'll have to go over before we start. But I think all in all, it'll be a lot of fun.
Okay, excellent. Tasha's Cauldron of Everything comes out November 17th. Or check out our interview with Campfire Tales with Nikki Dawes. She did a good bit of the art for that. Looks to be something cool. What have you guys learned from that? I know there's a little reveal that came out, and D&D Everything was this weekend, I believe.
Yeah, there's been a few previews. 22 new subclasses, 5 rewritten subclasses. So that's gonna be awesome just in and of itself. A lot of the UA stuff's becoming real Wizards material. So Adventures League available. New spells, new magic items. It's the exact same 192 pages, so the exact same page count as Xanathar's Guide.
Nice.
So it's a big book. A lot of new stuff in it. So pretty excited for that. It's supposed to be November something coming out?
November 17th, yeah.
17th, yeah.
17th. So yeah, that's pretty cool. What else about that? I know that
I saw that they
possibly are coming in, like the Mind Sliver spell.
Mind Sliver, yeah. Wild Soul Barbarian was one of the confirmed classes.
Okay. Did the Rune Knight get in there? Do you know?
I don't know. I didn't see that.
No, I don't think they're doing the Rune Knight. I think they said they're just sticking with like Eldritch. What was it? I don't think there's Rune Knight in there. I can't remember.
I
listened to a video
coming in. So
yeah, I've listened to a video where he like described all these new subclasses that were coming in.
Right.
Because Rune Knight was something from like 3.5, right? Isn't that?
Yeah. You basically it's like tattoos essentially which is what will be in that book as well. Like the rune, I think I remember right. Rune Knight like wore tattoos of different runes all over his body, or whatever, and they each did different things.
Very cool.
Exactly. You had to pick your runes out, kind of like a wizard would do with spells.
But they have, I think it's been confirmed that they have like actual tattoos magical tattoos, and that they're going to describe them all in the book.
Because we played a little something with that, with the UA for that.
Bard.
Yeah, with the Bard.
Yeah. Yep. It was a little bit different. They're also reworking Spore Druid, which is really weird. I don't know exactly what the rework is. Because there's 5 class reworks.
I'm sure it's going to be a nerf.
There are 5 rewritten classes,
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe more specific on...
I just want. I will say one confirmed. Beastmaster Ranger is getting rewritten.
Yeah.
That's been a big yell from the public.
I tried doing a Beastmaster Ranger for Solids campaign, and it's just terrible. It's so bad. It's the familiar that you get. It's scale. Like level 1, it's awesome. Once you get to like 2, 3, 4, 5, the thing sucks. Has like 20 health and 17 armor class, and it's nothing. Never goes any higher than that. So it's like, and now what they're doing is they have it was either primordial, something that could follow you around. They're buffing it up like crazy, so you'll have a cool. Because my thing, the power fantasy from like World of Warcraft, when you were a hunter, you always used to be a Beastmaster hunter in World of Warcraft. And you had this big ass like worgen following you around, and like, why can't you have that in D&D? Like, have something a CR whatever. Do it like the same CR as like a wild shape druid, like a CR6 fucking Tyrannosaurus.
I want to ride a mammoth all the time.
Yeah, have a Tyrannosaurus following you around, drawing aggro while you walk away. So
yeah,
it'll be cool.
I want to ride a mammoth all the time, but no one did.
Yeah, exactly. Fuckers.
Couldn't figure it out.
That was funny.
Most useless magic item ever.
It was talked about for like 2 weeks beforehand.
Nobody ever did it.
No. All right, I'm gonna use my only magic item, take this magic saddle, so you guys can ride me, get advantage, and that'll be awesome.
I got a magic saddle, get my back. And we're like,
that's cool.
I'm gonna do my own thing. All right, so last time we had the D&D Trivia Question. Y'all had the same answer. It turned out it was right, so I'm not going to flourish that in any sort of way. The player cast, to remind everyone, the player cast Wall of Stone to surround itself and an adjacent enemy with a 10-foot high wall of stone. The enemy creature successfully makes a dex save throw to avoid being surrounded by the wall, so they get away from it. What happens? Basically, does the caster get to use their reaction as they do their dex save to get out of the distance of the wall being put down? And yes, and then the answer is yes, you do. So even though you cast it, you put it on them to hurt them, you still get an extra hit on them for them avoiding the spell. Which I think is kind of dumb, but whatever.
Yeah.
Lots of rules as written are fucking dumb. Or dies.
So solid. Power word kill druid.
I choose not
dumb.
Yeah. No, you're just dead.
All right, so
it's not powered unconscious. It's powered kill.
It's not powered polymorph back to your original form.
Right. It's not polymorph. Power word. Go ahead and try again on your bonus action.
A 9th level spell versus.
Says it right there. Ability. Or die.
Anyways, all right.
So we had a debate, just so you know.
Write it differently.
Watch for a tweet, Jeremy Crawford. Well, it'll be coming from Solid.
Yeah.
He's very upset.
An angry tweet.
All right, so this week's question. Get ready. This is fairly, I don't know, it's simple, but it may not be easy to answer. If you level up and increase your Constitution modifier in 5e, do you retroactively increase your hit points to adjust?
No.
Yes.
Robot.
I'd say no.
Some of you are right. And some of you are wrong. And we'll find out the answer to that one next time.
You could have just gone plural and singular and we would have known.
Why would I do that? Excuse me for my scratchy throat. Robot, what do you got for us tonight?
Oh, hey. So new cards dropped. Exciting. Did everybody get one?
Magic the Gathering?
Like no. Hallmark?
Oh, yeah, I did get those.
Better.
Oh,
these cards
Pokemon
come with
cards.
They were a Nintendo version that had like a Princess Peach theme. I hear they're very rare.
I hear there's a
those
Princess Peach game coming out.
Yeah, those are in the back of the store.
I haven't pre-ordered. Don't worry.
This guy's been working on it for 8 years.
It's like those 3/4.
I heard it's almost out.
It's those 3/4 plastic sleeves that just like show a little bit of the cover.
3/4 plastic sleeves. Yeah. Perfect.
Something for the lady that has everything?
Yeah.
So, all fun aside, the 30 series, at least the first of the 30 series, the RTX 3080, supposedly dropped last week on the 17th. Supposedly.
Nobody has any, but
no one has confirmed this yet. But I was kind of excited. I wanted to grab one of these cards. I had 5 browsers open. I was constantly refreshing, and every site went from functioning normal and in stock. Actually, some of them I never even saw in stock, and they just crashed. Nvidia went straight from notify me to sold out. Newegg, Best Buy, and the one that got hit the hardest was B&H Photo. I don't know if you're familiar with that site, but
Very.
they went down for like an hour. Yeah, they were like they couldn't handle it.
No.
And the word is that some of this traffic was as high as it was definitely higher than the 20 series release, and as high as they get for sales on Black Friday. So clearly, people were out to get these things. People didn't get them. Turns out, and this isn't a new thing. So there are bots that you can use to auto buy stuff.
Just scripts, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a script, and people have been using this for sneakers, like limited run sneakers and Supreme clothing.
Drugs.
Yeah, all this stuff. But they hadn't used it really on consumer electronics, and boy, did they! Holy moly! So very few human beings, at least gamers, that wanted a card, got a card. It was a pretty good selection, partner cards. I think everybody was really after the Nvidia card for the first time, the Founder Series. That's usually
why
not
do you
the
think
case.
that's the case this time? Because
it's an ugly one. Right.
I don't. It's a tough one.
The
Design
card
is
so much better.
Yeah. Well, and so the numbers are coming back. People have done, real world benchmarking on them, and it doesn't seem to cool any better than the partner cards with like 3 fans. One of the videos that I watched was on the tough card, which is kind of like a mid-tier card, cooled significantly better than the Founders Edition.
Okay.
So that I like the way the card looks, honestly, but
man, you have come full circle with that shit. I remember when we had a metagame on this the first time it dropped.
It looked funky.
We all agreed it was ugly.
Yeah, we did. You did too. As a matter of fact, I can run the roll the track.
Did. Roll it.
Run it back.
But hey, bots got them. They immediately went on eBay. Cards are going for insane amounts. But
10,000 people, right?
10,000.
$800 card. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody wrote a script, or a bunch of people wrote scripts that they do 2 things. One, they auto bid on eBay. So they basically bid up these cards to unbuyable amounts with no intent of purchasing them. Kind of fuck the people who are listing it. And then the other one, they're actually doing listings of like toilet paper with 380 written on it. So there's so many listings for 380 that if you look for cards, all you get are like pictures of cards and toilet paper with 3080 written on it.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty funny.
That's hilarious.
But Nvidia's apologized. They've said, hey, they messed up. They should have included a CAPTCHA that would have slowed these botters down. But they're going to make more cards, which is
just get the second run of cards.
Not a surprise. The people I feel the worst about, and I think that we can talk a little bit about the 2080 and this stuff, or almost every tech YouTuber out there said, sell your 2080 Ti while it still has value. So, get out there, sell your card. You'll only be out of card for a little while. And a lot of people did that. A lot of people went out and sold their cards while they still had some value.
Before the 3070 specs were out.
Yeah, before the 3070 specs were out. And so realistically, there's a lot of people out there with a giant paperweight waiting to put a card in it that didn't get a card because Tech Jesus told them to sell their 2080 Ti.
But in the grand scheme of things, they probably sold that 2080 for what, $800-900?
Hopefully they did. Yeah. I mean,
and after the 3070, which is a $499 card drop that has better specs on it, everybody that's trying to sell their 2080 Ti for $800-900 is like,
oopsie.
Yeah,
it's a
you
good
better
point,
drop that price.
So the real world benchmarks came out. Nvidia promised twice the performance of the 2080. Not really. In some limited games,
that we said up to 70%. Right? There was a thing.
The rumors. Yeah, the rumors were bananas.
Yeah.
And so Minecraft
and that was
RTX,
over the 2080.
Yeah, it's pretty close to that. Minecraft RTX, Quake with ray tracing, anything that's like 100% all in on ray tracing.
Yeah,
the cars perform swimmingly. But normal games, low RTX, you're probably looking at a 20% increase over a 2080 Ti. It is double over 1080. So, if you're still in a 10 series card, so some of these can be a pretty inexpensive, significant upgrade. But at the end of the day, if you're doing 1080p and the games that are out right now, you're getting over 60 frames per second with most of the cards on the market. So it's not
absolutely.
Yeah.
Everybody's caught up in the frenzy. I'm caught up in the frenzy. But at the end of the day, yeah, the cards we have do what they're supposed to do.
You and I both have 2080 Tis, but I'm also thinking if this thing doesn't perform that much better in 4K, I want to know what it does on 1440 or 2560 on a 240 hertz monitor. That's what I want to know. I want to hit 200 frames, man.
Well, so the benchmarks are, at least for the 3080, are out for widescreen monitors.
Okay.
And I think you might be able to hit it on your monitor. I know it's overkill, but I'm kind of thinking I'm just going to wait for the 3090. I feel like I think there's going to be a 3080 Super, 3080 Ti, and those versions of cards, and they're going to double the RAM on them.
And the Titan.
So why wait and just get the Titan and. But we'll see. I'm going to do the same thing this week. 5 pages, refreshing constantly, and then I'm going to be pissed off for the rest of the day.
Just take a 20-minute Python class and learn how to script the bot and get one of your.
You don't even need to write it yourself, dude. You can easily go buy that shit.
You can just go buy it on Fiverr or something.
Yeah,
it's not write it for you.
It's not that.
Not gonna lie, I've been looking.
You gotta stop looking on the clear net and start looking at the dark.
Yeah.
Oh, careful with that.
It's out there.
Yeah. See what happens. You'll end up with 30 cards.
Right.
You're like, I got 30.
So, we gotta take a new more.
I wanted 30 series.
Everybody need a card.
30 cards.
Yeah.
Well, you only paid $5 for it, so you get what you get. So.
Right. You probably get one on Wish.com. Probably 30 series.
A Hello Kitty 30 series.
Yeah.
Wish.com.
Right.
Yeah. When's that come out?
Yeah.
My Little Pony. Oh god.
So 3090 this week, 3070 is next up. They previewed the 6000 series AMD cards. So October, I think they're talking about some announcements on those. So
yeah.
The 6000 XT.
Yeah. We'll see.
In the past I've always complained about how ugly Radeon cards are, but I don't know.
Nvidia's like,
hold my beer. Let me show you this Infinity X we have.
Yeah.
All right, cool. What else you got for us tonight? That's the wrap
That's
up.
the big stuff. Yeah, that's the wrap.
So I mean, you have a G9 Samsung monitor.
Yeah, a Samsung G9. Yeah.
So that would be my goals as it was. Yeah. To find out what that 3090 can do on something like that while playing Flight Sim.
Well, that's what I'm kind of thinking is first off, with Flight Sim, even with that, you're going to get 60 frames per second at best. But
ridiculous.
What does it take to run like a 2K monitor that has a higher refresh rate? Will that card do it? And we'll see.
Interesting to find out.
Can it run the new Crysis?
Right.
Can Crysis run Crysis?
At max settings.
Yeah.
Right? Crysis 3 max settings.
Crysis is broken on the 20 series cards. It won't go over 80 frames per second. It's locked.
Low.
Yeah. So even Crysis can't run.
Solid, what do you have for us tonight?
Well, as everybody I'm sure knows by now, we have.
Hold on, let me buckle in real quick for this roller coaster.
Oh boy! So Super Mario had their 35th anniversary.
Hey, let me just hold it just 1 second. I just want to say one thing. Last cast, you were the most excited person in the world to know that Mario was coming back out, and we didn't even know it yet. But you knew,
boy.
like nobody really knew it yet. But you knew
something was up.
yeah, and was just head over heels. Please continue. Please continue.
Little did you know it was red.
Little did you know. Yeah, so they had the Super Mario 35th anniversary like 2 weekends ago, I think, 2 Saturdays ago. And this last Friday, 3 All-Stars came out with Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario Galaxy. And they're doing like a limited release for it, which is absolutely bonkers. My guess is, they're going to just piecemeal sell them later on, so it's not like a big deal or anything. But so Nintendo, being their usual awesome selves that they are, decided, hey, let's release these games as emulations running on Wii and GameCube software. So yeah, hooray! I have not bought the game. I don't plan on it.
So it's not up-res at all. It's not.
No, they didn't do anything to it. So they actually made most of the games worse, which is kind of funny that they can make their own games worse.
How do you do that?
Yeah. Right. So Super Mario 64, they took out. They used a patched version of the game that was re-released in Japan after the American version came out. So there was like a lot of speedrunner tech that was taken out from glitches and stuff. But lo and behold, the speedrun community is amazing, and they've already broken the game. They figured out that they can like wall jump infinitely between 2 spots and just break into the third Bowser's door, just by doing that. Other crazy camera issues and just overall aesthetics of just looking like shit has angered enough Nintendo fans for an actual stick to be shook at it.
Super Mario Galaxy, right, was Wii U?
Yeah, Super Mario Galaxy was the original Wii. Super Mario Galaxy 2, I believe, was Wii U. But so Super Mario Galaxy is running on the Wii, a Wii emulation, and the GameCube emulator is running obviously Sunshine and I believe Super Mario 64. They're not even running that on a normal Nintendo 64 emulator.
Well, what I saw is that people were mad about Galaxy so much because the controls, they don't interface well with the Switch.
Yeah. So with jeez.
Where do we start?
So much to unpack here. Yeah. So all right, we'll start with Galaxy, I guess. Galaxy's controls. There's major issues with it because you normally are holding, the Wii nunchuck set, and one is to collect stars. And one was to move Mario and to jump and stuff. But the problem is that so now if you're doing it in handheld mode, you can just use your hand to swipe on the screen for the things that you need to use the Wiimote for, I guess. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't work all the time. Not great because Nintendo's touchscreen is kind of shitty. And people are finding it's like malfunctioning and causing them to die a bunch on levels where you have to have very precise like touch controls essentially. Okay. And then with Sunshine, you don't have, so on the GameCube controllers you had like just different pressure sensitivities for the triggers in the back. Mm. And with the flood unit on back of Mario in Sunshine, you controlled like exactly how big of a stream was coming out, right, which was important to do like different types of hover jumps, defeating certain types of enemies where you can just squirt like real little mist on them and they'll die, so you're constantly conserving your water. But now it is just full fucking blast. Yeah, just boom on. Okay, cool. So it's making a lot of people who are very nostalgic for the game very, very upset.
This is what happens when every system you release has a different fucking controller. It makes this kind of stuff like virtually impossible to.
It makes game preservation as a whole very, very difficult.
Yeah. Now watch, like they'll remedy this by selling a legacy controller.
Yeah, they'll get a legacy.
They have Smash Brothers, right?
Get this right. So they have the connector on the Switch docking station to plug in a GameCube controller. You are not allowed to use a GameCube controller on Super Mario 3D All-Stars.
What?
Don't understand it.
Who polices that? Just embedded in the game?
It's like you just
because it's running off an emulator.
Work.
That's why. Because it's not a remaster. It's running off an emulator, so it doesn't know what the fuck that is, right?
Right.
I don't understand how I can have a better working port of Mario 64 on my computer than Nintendo has in their own fucking library. Like, what?
This really seems like somebody went, hey, we have a Mario anniversary coming up. What do we have planned for that?
Actually, no, they
fuck nothing.
They remember
what do you think you can get done by next month?
Yeah, they probably remembered like a month or before, and we're like, oh shit. What do we do? What's trending on Twitter? Oh, a Mario 3D mashup? Okay, let's just do that.
They're like Sony and PlayStation releasing consoles this year. What do we do? It's like, oh, what's the price? Like, they've not released prices. Like, oh, that's not this year.
Yeah. We're not doing those. We don't do that this year.
Yeah.
I just wish they hadn't put the All-Star name on it.
I really wish
synonymous with really good.
Well, it's also synonymous with good remakes, essentially. Yeah. So, like the original on the SNES, if you don't know, it is all completely remade. NES and Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, Lost Levels, and 3, all on one cart. And they also have a one where you can bundle it with World as well. But so they're all made into like kind of like this. It's not the World engine. I don't think it's still. I think they're running on their own engines. But all the visuals are redone. The music's reorchestrated. It's really, really nice. And this is just not it. This is not 3D. This is not the 3D All Stars that anybody wanted. This is just a bunch of garbage they found on rawmedia.com and like said, all right, let's fucking throw these on a cart and sell it to people, I guess. But there's I guess a slight positive in kind of like knowing what's coming out ahead of time, because those emulators are inside of these games. People have kind of like dug further into the code of the games and found that these are they have a couple other emulators also running, or that they've like unlocked, I guess, for the Switch hardware to use, purporting that they're gonna possibly bring Paper Mario from the Wii, and possibly Zelda. Maybe that's how they bring Skyward Sword over.
Double Dash.
Double Dash out the GameCube. That would be sick.
Bring back Dr. Mario.
yeah. So there's other games from the Wii and the Wii U era that were like really difficult, that were going to be hard to port over. But I think from what it sounds like that there is a way to do this now, with these other emulators that are like locked within the programming of this game for some weird reason.
So we're not getting remasters of Zelda?
Jesus
Wind
Christ.
Waker, come on.
So they've already done the Wind Waker. They've already remastered the Wind Waker to 1080p.
But not on Switch.
No, it wasn't on Switch. It was on the Wii U. But I mean, that's a pretty easy one to port over because there's nothing really there that really requires touch controls or weird motion controls. So I think because Zelda's 35th anniversary starts in March.
Coinciding when they unbundle this All-Stars package or take it off the market completely.
And it coincides with the launch of the 4K Switch.
Yeah, hopefully. That's what I'm hoping
now,
for as well.
Someone at Nintendo said, wait, it's the 35th anniversary too? Holy shit.
How did we get this close with 2 games?
We got to get something put together by March.
At least we gave them 3 times the amount of time they had for Mario. So
yeah, Jesus. Zelda's a little trickier. I think with Zelda, like, you could really only just bring out. You could only bring like Wind Waker and Twilight Princess over. Possibly Skyward Sword. I'm sure they'll just sell that separately. But they've already done so many reiterations of like of Ocarina of Time. I think that they might as well just throw that into like an N64 fucking thing on there. Just give it to everybody at this point. It's like Skyrim. It's like literally on everything now, you know?
Yeah. Like the
that's what I'm thinking. I mean, I have some of that stuff on my
service.
DS already.
Not for long.
Yeah. Their subscription service would be perfect for some N64 like collection type games. So it'd be really good. But
N64 Mini.
Oh God, I wish.
That's the rumor for like 2 years now.
For like 2 years.
They've done all the other consoles.
Yeah, right. I think from what I heard, the challenge for bringing the N64 like mini out would be the controller, just because like how are you gonna make that weird
piece of shit controller
fucking controller work nowadays?
Worst.
Yeah, that's like half its size. Like
Right.
that's not
tiny hands.
It's the worst analog stick ever made.
Yeah.
The origination of stick drift.
Now we still have October when Super Mario 35 comes out, and there's Super Mario 3 World plus Bowser's Fury that comes out in February. So there's a few other Mario things coming out that have a little bit more hope, but so far 3D All Stars is not it.
Yeah.
It's the same reason I didn't buy the Link's Awakening remake. I was all about it. But it came out and like, yeah, they did like really, really nice, like re-up on the visuals and made it look really cutesy. But when they did the same thing to Mario, then you remake the controls and the controls are floatier and kind of, they feel sloppy. They don't feel tight and precise like they did back on the NES or the Super NES, or even the Game Boy. That's when you lose like a lot of people, I feel like.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't know. They're made to make it easier and more forgiving, which I just don't understand for those. So
yeah, cool.
But
so
yeah,
so you're big excited for this.
Oh, mega, super
happy.
excited. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So just to continue, I mean, I know you keep up with all this stuff. Just I know we're not going to talk much about Gamescom, but that came out the end of last month, and there was a game in there called Unknown 9. Did you take a look at this, Awakening?
Okay, so I feel like I know what it is, but I have to really refresh my memory.
So it's female protagonist, Indian, Eastern Indian, and it's like a coming of age sort of like mutant X-Men sort of thing. There are other characters that are going to be in there, but the preview just showed kind of her. But they've got like this video game. Okay. They've got a novel. I forget the name of the novels, but everything's like Unknown 9. One's like Genesis Transformation. There's a podcast. There's a novel. There's a comic book series coming out, and they're doing all this before the release of the actual video game, just to pull all.
Yeah,
Danganronpa.
They're trying to get that niche audience that wants to consume every single type of medium there is, and like give me more, and I'm not that kind of audience.
Yeah. It's just an interesting take on it. I just thought
it is absolutely,
especially now that people have all this kind of time,
Yes,
less so, absolutely. But I'm sure it was planned when all this was going on. So, and then the other thing notable, I guess, was there's a bunch of Star Wars stuff that everybody already knows about, but Doom Eternal's coming out with a standalone. Their DLC is going to be DLC is going to be standalone. You can play it without having the original game, which is nice. And Dragon Age 4 is coming out after forever.
I tried playing 1 and Inquisition, and I just hated both of them.
Yeah,
I just hate everything. I hate everything that BioWare's done since KOTOR, but everyone knows that. So. Yeah.
What, Jade Empire? What was that one?
Oh, that was a fun one. Jade Empire was pretty fun.
I really enjoyed that. Yeah,
I might boot that up on the old PC one day.
That IP is just sitting there waiting for a remake.
Hey,
King, what you got for us tonight?
So, funny story. You guys are familiar with the scene in the Justice League movie where Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent are at Clark's old house, and he's like, "How'd you get my house back?" And Bruce is like, "Well, I bought the bank." Well, Microsoft, somebody who worked there was in the audience when that happened, and they're like, "That's a great idea." And they went back to Microsoft HQ and they said, "Why don't we just buy everything that has to do with gaming?" And so everybody at Microsoft like, that's a great idea. We're $1 trillion company. So someone penciled the deal with ZeniMax, which is a huge parent company to a ton of studios, for a $7.5 billion cash deal, all cash. This is huge. This is a fat stack of $7.5 billion. Here you go. ZeniMax is like I said, a parent company to studios like id Software, which is Doom, Quake, Arcane Studios, so like the Dishonored series and Prey, Tango Gameworks, so the Evil Within, and the prize pig of the bunch, which is Bethesda. So that's all your Elder Scrolls and Fallout games. So those are now in works. This is going to be final penciled in they said second half of 2021. But Bloomberg already put out the report at the $7.5 million price point. Something like this, it would have been leaked. That big of a merger, that big of an acquisition would have been leaked a long time before the second half of next year. So they came up with it already, said, yep, that's the thing. Phil Spencer from Microsoft, super pumped about it. There's a ton of new IPs coming out. What this brings up is, are we going to start to see a ton of Microsoft and Xbox exclusives now? Like, can you imagine the next Fallout game that comes out only on Xbox? The next Skyrim iteration only on Xbox? You're talking Microsoft took a huge scoop of the gaming market, and it's almost like to me, it's almost setting a precedent to the rest of, the other half of the gaming universe, which would be PlayStation and Sony. How quickly can we buy up studios? Because it seems like you're in a hungry hippo situation where, the next studio, and then whoever the biggest company is that owns all these studios, that's going to be the king of the console wars. So it's super interesting. This has been, it just dropped last night, the information on this, and the gaming world is kind of up in a tizzy right now, knowing that Microsoft just made a big purchase.
So I don't think for even half a second that Skyrim, Elder Scrolls series or the Fallout series won't appear on PS5. And the reason I say this is because it makes too much fucking money for Papa Microsoft, and what a dig. So their first party studio game onto a PlayStation platform.
Well, and see, because in Microsoft eyes, they don't care. If you go ahead and put it on the PlayStation, but that check's coming to me.
Yeah, exactly.
When you bought that game, sure, you can play it on the PlayStation, but that check's coming to me. Thanks.
Here's the pivot, and I've been saying this for a long time, and you guys have ignored it, and I'm not mad at you, but I remember.
Disappointed.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
They kept exclusive for an entire year. And everybody's like, well, Microsoft doesn't do exclusive. I'm like, motherfucker, they did that game for a year. And it was like, that was pretty impressive at the time. Because, you get like 2 months on the Call of Duty map or something like that for PlayStation or, an Xbox way back when they first had this franchise. But not for like an entire game shut down for that entire amount of time. I think that's what they're going to do. I think they'll be like, yeah, you'll get Skyrim 2.
Right.
When we're done with it after a month or after 60 days.
After it's been on Game Pass for a year.
Yeah,
Xbox
for included with Game Pass.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Xbox and PC. And then if you still got a PlayStation after 60 days, then hey, we'll take your money again.
Right.
I could see like a 30 or 60 day exclusivity. I don't think like a year.
No. I don't think so.
And I don't think they're gonna do it.
I don't think you'll see exclusives
either. Because they already have Unavowed, and they already have Outer Worlds those are like the Microsoft branded Fallout and Elder Scrolls that are coming out. They want to keep Elder Scrolls, I think, on everything.
Yeah.
Because Skyrim sold 30 million units alone.
So the thing, I think that what they're going to do with Microsoft realistically with this is they're going to pressure them either to take more money of the cut for themselves if PlayStation wants it, and then slowly, suck them to death, or put it to where I just lost my train of thought because I said suck them to death and I just lost brain freeze.
Look, it's all about Game Pass.
Let me jump in for a second.
Microsoft's going to go ahead.
So I can kind of quell a little bit of this. Phil Spencer, who is the head of Xbox, said that as of right now, any timed exclusives and commitments that like they had to certain franchises to like the PS5 and everything will go through.
Well, that's not him.
Existing deals,
existing you can't deals. Undo a deal.
Right, but he said after this next batch of games, he quotes in a quote here, we'll take other consoles on a case by case basis. So that's when like your Elder Scrolls 6 comes out and Fallout New Vegas 2 and all
only on Xbox, PC, and Switch.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I remember the other thing. So the other thing I was going to say is
and iOS.
Yeah. So the other thing was that they will do that or force them to be crossplay.
Ooh, that's we'll let you take it on PlayStation, but you need to crossplay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, those are single player though, so they don't really have like a crossplay feature.
Well, can you imagine?
But turn crossplay on for another game, and we'll let you have.
Can you imagine like id Software? So the Doom people doing a Halo game, like Master Chief running around kicking faces off of grunts.
Jesus,
and all to a crazy heavy metal soundtrack. Like,
just calm down.
They didn't buy this stuff so they can sell a game on PlayStation.
No,
they bought this because these are games that people want. The only way you're going to get it is on Game Pass. You're gonna have to sign up for a Game Pass subscription.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's not that much money.
Yeah.
PlayStation user, I don't give a shit if you buy our console or not. But you're going to be part of Game Pass.
Yeah, play it on your PC.
Do you think they're
going
to
get as many human beings? It's all about running Game Pass numbers up.
Yeah.
Do you think there's some kind of pivot here to make Sony engage with Game Pass in some way?
No.
Nah, Sony wouldn't do that. I think there's a chance with Switch, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, there were rumors of it earlier.
Yeah, we heard a lot about that last year.
I think there'll be onesie twosie games that they'll allow on Switch. Probably. They have a good relationship with Nintendo right now. But I'm telling you, in 2 years, if you want to play the new Fallout game, you're going to have to get Game Pass.
Well, see, what a lot of people are
are
saying is the Xbox goes on pre-order tomorrow. This got dropped today, this news. Yep. All those previous games, Fallout 4, New Vegas, Doom.
All that shit's going to Game Pass.
That's all on Game Pass.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, don't forget, though. Don't forget you said about multiplayer, but I'm telling you, I don't know if you guys played Fallout 79, 76?
76.
Yeah, I played it a lot, and it's like that is a multiplayer game. So if you made that crossplay, I mean, it's not without good reason that they could make a new Fallout game, maybe Fallout Vegas 2, and have it be 4-player multiplayer, or even like standard 2-player it is now, and have that be crossplay on PlayStation.
And one quick thing, like what Robot mentioned before the cast, we kind of were chatting a little bit. This kind of breathes a little bit of light or life into the Microsoft acquiring Bungie rumors. Because if Microsoft's trying to snatch up all these studios, why not go for Bungie? I mean, that's what brought us Halo.
Wait until Bungie is in a bad way. Like
when Eververse dries up a little bit.
Eververse dries up. Yeah, player base is pissed off.
And their new shitty class-based PvP competitive shooter is failing.
That Microsoft that Microsoft teat will be right there.
Before we get into that, because that's a whole other topic we're going to get into. But
that is.
Yeah, so I mean, what do you think the viability of this is for them buying things up and not getting an antitrust suit?
Getting what? Sorry,
antitrust.
There's no chance.
Oh, like a monopoly kind of deal.
Yeah.
No, you can't. There's too many.
Yeah. It doesn't really work like that. It doesn't work on diversity. It doesn't work. It works on money makers.
Having a monopoly isn't illegal. You can have a monopoly legally.
But if you're buying up all the most profitable developers and leaving,
but they won't be able to. They won't be.
EA, Take-Two. There's still so many out there.
I mean, they have a deal with EA for Game Pass and EA together.
Right.
That's about as far as that's ever gonna go. I mean, they're not gonna be able to buy Rockstar, Take-Two, like Gearbox will never ever be sold. Randy Pitchford loves himself too much.
Come on,
like Epic, like they'll never be able to acquire like Epic, and Epic is, you gotta remember, Epic is still a huge publisher.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's no way. There's no way. I mean, yeah, they have 23 studios now, and hopefully in another year they have 40 studios. Like, how sick would that be? But how it's basically going to be, how much longer is Sony going to let them continue to dominate and just do whatever the fuck they want and continue to bolster themselves before they say, fuck, now we have to give in to these guys. We have to sell ourselves to Microsoft.
Right.
Microsoft wants every Sony person, every Sony fanboy
to get
subscribing to Game Pass.
That's all it is. It's all Game Pass.
They're doing a pretty persuasive job at it right now.
Yeah.
And they've got the great second console now, the cheapest, powerful console on the market.
Everybody memes on Microsoft and Xbox for not having games. Like PlayStation, we have the games.
Yeah, look how many of those fuckboys are buying Xbox Series S's tomorrow.
Yeah. The games are coming as we see all these studios getting snatched up.
So speaking of all that, so we all know the prices and all that for the Series X and Series S, King. What do you think about explain the payment plan and all that stuff? I know that a lot of people don't really know about that.
So your Xbox Series S, which is your 1440p all digital console, $399. Sorry, $299. The X, which is the big 4K big dog, looks like a mini fridge console, which is higher spec than the PS5, $499. So that's a chunk of money, especially middle of a pandemic, Christmas coming up. Timmy wants a console. So Xbox or Microsoft, in their ever beautiful mind, came out with their all access plan. And what that is basically, picture you going to a cell phone store and picking up a cell phone for 24 payments of $390 of whatever per month. It's the same thing. This is a 0% APR for the S. The packages are for the S. You get the console, you get Game Pass, and I think that's it. Console and Game Pass right now.
Yeah, and a controller.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Game Pass.
That'd be tough not to bundle in that. So
yeah, Game Pass. Yes. It's essentially just Game Pass on the console. Yeah.
And you get that for, I believe the S is $25.
Yeah, $24.99 a month.
And the X, which is again $499 console, you get that 24 payments, 0% interest, $34.99. I think was the price for that. It's like $10 more. So you're talking. This is credit qualified. You can't just be a 400 credit score and go in there and walk out of there with an X for $35. Because what's interesting is, I was thinking about this. I'm like, how are they going to police this? If you miss a payment or just dip out, they can actually remotely lock your console. So if your console ever connects to the internet, again, boom, done. Console's locked. You're not getting back into it. So that's how they police these deadbeats. So, but it's amazing. You take this basically $500 console. Game Pass, which is $14.99, and then usually a gold bundle now in Game Pass. So you're talking.
I think it's Ultimate you get with it.
It's Game Pass Ultimate. Yep.
Yeah.
So you run on PC too. That's the only thing they have now, right? Yep. Don't they just have Ultimate?
No, they have a low tier. It's Game Pass as well.
You can still get Game Pass for PC, but
it's like
more.
It's like $10 a month for normal Game Pass, and then Game Pass PC is like $14.99 or $15.99.
And anyways, so for even if you just take the Game Pass, which is $14.99, strip that price out of the X, you're paying $20 a month for a $500 console for 24 months, which is obscenely good deal.
Yeah. And it comes with games instead of buying $70 games at launch.
You have a whole
console. You got a whole library.
And now look, the library just got even bigger. Because of today. So do
you think they're gonna bring Elder Scrolls Morrowind to Game Pass?
ESO's coming. So I mean, it's honestly, in my opinion, as a parent, if my kid asks for a console, I'm signing up, guaranteed. I'm spending $35 at Best Buy instead of $500 at Best Buy.
Or $25.
Everybody can be a hero. Yep.
And you're the man. You come home, box in hand, kids love you for another year, I guess.
Until you get repoed.
But I wanted a PlayStation 5.
Dad, my console's not working. Oh, well, sorry, I didn't pay the bill. So
you can have this now, or you can have PlayStation 5 in 2 months when they come available.
I actually did the math on it, and stretching out the price of Game Pass for 24 months and the console for 24 months, it's actually cheaper to do the all access than it is to buy all outright day one.
That's with the S or with both?
That's with both systems.
Both of them, yeah.
It's basically, it worked out to be like $840 with all payments and Game Pass and everything all included. So basically $34.99 times 24. It was like 800 and change, and then it was like $20 more if you were to buy it all at once on day one. Right. So it's actually cheaper to spread it out, which is not usually how that stuff kind of goes. But
and it helps your credit score.
It does. Yeah.
See, I remember. I mean, this is kind of related. My dad went into IT as a late in life career thing when things weren't working in the mid '90s, and when Microsoft had just released Silverlight. You guys remember Microsoft Silverlight?
Yep.
That was their goal, to have a PC in every home as a rental.
Yep.
And we finally gotten there kind of with the console now. So have a payment plan, just have it where they own everything. You're just renting it for the the time being that you have it, and
you're leasing it. It's just like leasing a car.
Yeah.
And it's just like I said, a cell phone. Same thing. If you go into T-Mobile right now and you want the new Note 75 that blows up, then go ahead, pay me $35 a month, and we'll just do 24 months.
For these companies, it's all about plannable, predictable income.
Yeah.
Subscriptions, payments, things that they know month in and month out. They can basically bank on that much income.
They forget about coming out of your account and just go.
Not like, hey, we didn't have a hot game this quarter, so things didn't go well. It's
the Game Pass. Game Pass is going to be that constant stream of nourishment that they need.
And he's going to sell tomorrow.
Yeah, he's going pre-order tomorrow.
What time?
8 a.m.
8 a.m. Pacific. At all
noon?
your
Was it 11?
I thought it was 11 Central.
11 o'clock Eastern.
11 Eastern, 10 Central, 9 Mountain, or however it works out.
Yeah.
Know your time zones. And so basically, you need to look at Amazon, Best Buy, GameStop, all these
from the Microsoft website.
So it's funny. I talked to Adam earlier today, and I actually called my local GameStop, and the nice attendant who answered, she says, I was like, when can I come in tomorrow and pre-order one? She's like, don't. She said, by the time that you come in, order an Xbox, all of them are going to be gone. You need to go online and get it the second 11 o'clock ticks around, because you just won't get one.
Wow.
And I said, okay, thank you for your advice. So that's how fast they're planning. If the PlayStation pre-orders were any kind of clue at all, those again, same thing as like the 30 series cards, people would hit F5 as soon as the hour ticked and sold out.
Release the bots.
It's going to be the same thing.
I'm going to try. I'm going to try.
Are you going for the S or the X?
I'm going to go for the X.
Yeah.
It's a tough decision, but this will be for my kid.
Yeah, I'll try for the S for the kid. He's only 4, so he doesn't get the X.
TV in the living room. That's
you
where
enjoy that
go.
1440.
Yeah, but you have to get the full experience. You got to get the new 2.2 HDMI. So you got to buy a brand new TV for this.
Yeah. Well, who wants 120 frames per second? I mean, really, how many games are going to support?
I'm spending $500.
Well, in that case, why not get the S? I'm just saying.
Right. Because 4K.
4K, bro.
Well, it upscales to 4K.
Let me tell you, $300 for a console seems very reasonable.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, when it eventually comes down to it, and you can actually just walk into the store and get one, you bring your Xbox One, your day one Xbox One, and you still get $100 for it towards your S or X.
Best GameStop actually put out a flyer that was there. Trade your old consoles in for the new consoles, which apparently isn't going to happen anyways because they don't even want you in the store day one.
Yeah.
But they said like the 1 terabyte PlayStation, the old one, PlayStation 4, that's like $100 and change credit. A new Xbox X was like $200 credit. So I mean,
yeah,
you can basically walk in there with your Xbox One X that you haven't used for a while, get $200 for it, and then slap down $100 bill on the counter and peace out with a brand new
That's so
console.
crazy, man. So crazy.
How about 3 Xbox 360s and a Wii? What would that give me for the
I'll give you $5.
Yeah, that's either $15 store credit or $4 cash. You pick.
Or you can get a used controller if you want.
Yeah,
I'll give you $30 to get the fuck out of the store, sir.
I'll get you NCAA football 2009.
Yeah, was it 2006?
Sounds good. Yeah.
For the 3DS.
Yeah. So
for the Vita, jeez.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I mean, so I'm interested to see how it goes tomorrow. I probably won't be trying to hound one down tomorrow. I'll wait until it cools off a little bit and maybe some pre-orders fall through or something. So
yeah, it's probably the best way to go because we've seen kind of what happens when PlayStation 5 does the pre-order, right? I mean, I'm not trying to get on the Xbox versus PlayStation bandwagon. Sure. I don't think any of us are there. I've got a PlayStation Pro right here. And love their exclusive content, and I'm going to buy a PlayStation 5 just to put that out right if I can ever find one. But they didn't do so well.
I just don't like Sony fanboys. That's all.
I don't like Sony fanboys either. I think they're not.
Fanboys are just as tool baggy.
They are. I mean, they're not realistic.
Yeah, but at least they know what they're talking about. You know.
They typically are better.
Just go play your Switch.
They're just typically better people in general.
No, so I'm not trying to get on that, and I don't think we've really been there. We just try to keep it objective, and you know, it seems like a better deal. One of the main things is that, you know, with Game Pass giving the first party titles for free, Sony came out and said they're not doing that. They came out 2 days ago after their pre-order, and I'm sure everyone knows about this pre-order debacle where you know all the bots bought that just like they did the 3080 cards, Nvidia cards.
Well, everybody sold them early. Nobody honored the street day.
See, is that on them? Is that on Sony? Is that on Walmart?
Nah, it's probably the retailers, but that's some bullshit.
It is bullshit. But I mean, so Sony said that their business model does not allow for them to put first party or any sort of like.
They said these are $100 million development games. We're not putting them on a free service. Which is like a
punch in the dick, though, right? I mean,
is that a you problem or a me problem that you spent $100 million on this game?
Exactly.
You know, you're going to punish me for that? Not, you know, Microsoft does it, so I'll go over there.
They're still mad about that whole Avengers Spider-Man shit. They're like, we spent so much money on this. Yeah, well, you should have known better. So they had their reveal, and talked about what they said months earlier that they would not surprise people and have a pre-order just go. That people would know the time, they'd know the date. Then they had their reveal, which is all after, you know, both companies hedging their prices and pushing it until the last possible second.
Microsoft tipped their hand first.
Yeah, and then they had to scramble and do it, and then they had their reveal. They said they go on sale tomorrow, and went on sale 30 minutes after the stream ended. Like what, 9:30 at night Eastern time?
Yeah. I was actually checking after the stream because I thought they would sell it after the stream. Like stream's over, pre-orders are open now. I really thought that was the case. I kind of checked some websites. Should have just stuck with it.
Apparently, Microsoft was due to actually reveal like their price and the S all last week as well. Like the day before PlayStation was supposed to. Microsoft was slated to do so. They had like a whole developer conference type event that they had that they were going to show off. It was like 30 minutes long.
And they chose not to?
They chose, well, then it got leaked.
It got leaked.
It got leaked, which was probably way better for them in the long run because it was hilarious the entire day.
Yeah.
Kind of a rotten story, though. So I can't remember the guy's name, but he...
Windows Central or something?
Windows Central, which is, they're a pretty stout partner with Microsoft. They preview a lot of stuff. So there were people at Windows Central that knew about this console, knew about all the stuff coming up, knew about the S, knew the price. Some of them had known for months. And he worked for them. And, you know, you kind of, when you have a group like that, you build some trust in that relationship. Like it's a partnership. You know, we'll give you preview access. And anyway, somebody that worked for Windows Central leaked it early.
Yep.
It's kind of a shitty move with a partner that's that close to you. Because think about it this way. People work really hard on those campaigns. That's, you know, a lot of effort goes into how you're going to make that announcement. You've got everything ready to go. And one of your trusted partners, one of the people you gave access to the console early, ends up leaking it.
Spills them beans. Another little stumbling point. Again, we are objective here on Spawn Camp Council, but another little stumbling point with the PS5. They actually came out, I think it was 2 or 3 days ago, and said the PS5 will have 99% backwards compatibility with PS4 games, but then a 0% backwards compatibility with PlayStation 3, 2, or 1 games. Yeah. So if you have any of those games, PlayStation 3, 2, or 1, will not play on a PS5.
I could have swore they said that was going to happen.
Well, I mean, it looks like
swore early on.
If you look at
the compatibility thing,
yeah.
Well, the $100 price point difference in having a disc drive and not having a disc drive in their two options, I mean, shows that they don't want people having discs. Nope. They don't want to be backwards compatible. They want you buying the new stuff. They want you buying it digitally.
Yep.
Because there's no resale market. Sense. There's no used market for that. Like you can't take an old disc to the GameSpot if you don't have a disc.
Or GameSpot. Poor old games. Every time GameStop has to sell an all digital console and Angel gains its wings.
Yeah. So and which I don't blame PlayStation or Sony at all, because if you're spending $60, the same $60 on a disc that needs to be manufactured, shipped, sold at a retailer who's getting a cut of that. Yeah, 70 now.
70.
There's pieces of that pie that crumble along the way to get to that person's hand, as opposed to $70 direct digital download. That's all in Sony's pocket. So why would you not go digital as a big?
Well, I mean, it's again like it's cutting down that resale market, because you can get a $25 or $40 disc used on a game, from GameStop, but you're not gonna get that from from any sort of digital sale. I mean, they'll have it every now and then, but it's going to be $15 very far, very far away. So they can again, like Robot said, that maximizes your potential by knowing what your income's going to be. It locks it more down to your market. You have all the hands in the pie. So,
yep. So that's it.
So what do we think? PlayStation 5 years are dead?
Not dead. Not dead.
No, they'll be around. I just don't think they'll be as prevalent. I think unless they can go with a subscription type model that Microsoft is doing, they're pretty much just going to start. How do you
argue with a $35 a month brand new console?
Dude, they're just gonna start hemorrhaging money and not know what to do with themselves. Then they're gonna have to sell off the refrigerators. They're gonna have to sell off all their toasters, their TVs, and then they're gonna put it all into this video game thing, and it's still gonna fail because they couldn't.
I think you see the exact opposite. I think you see them shift back towards the household appliances and TVs.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
This video game market, man. Microsoft, you win.
The thing you have to really watch with Sony, and they make great first-party games.
Yes.
But if they string a few of those together that don't sell well, and it's $300 million game to make, and you get half of that back.
Oh yeah,
that's when they're in trouble, and that's where not having kind of a paid subscription model is going to hurt them.
Yep.
Well, that's kind of what I was
keep making good games
with the Avengers thing, spending all that money on getting Spider-Man and the Avengers game being exclusive, stuff like that. It's gonna kill him if that game dies, and that's what it looks like is happening with the Avengers game. I mean, that if that model, if they put that money into that licensing and lock into it, that's gonna be their downfall.
It just flops.
Yeah. It all comes full circle.
Keep making God of Wars.
It's coming out. 2021.
Keep pumping them out. And they'll be like the new Gears of War.
New Horizon Zero Dawn coming out.
Let's just keep naming a bunch of shitty games.
Demon Souls.
Hey, Spider-Man was great, man.
Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man game looks garbage.
I liked Spider-Man when it was Spider-Man 2, and that was the last... That's the only Spider-Man game that you'll ever need to play.
Spider-Man 2018 is a fantastic game, and I will defend it to my death.
It's exactly the same as Spider-Man 2 on the fucking PlayStation.
No.
It's just the only difference is resolution.
The resolution is better. I mean, if you want to compare anything, if you said Arkham Asylum, then I would say your Arkham City. Do those games.
The combat in the newest Spider-Man is outstanding.
It is.
They nailed that like Arkham. Yeah,
it feels good, just like the Batman games did, or the first two. So, yep. All right, is that it? We done?
That's it.
That's all we got to say about PlayStation and Xbox tonight.
That's it. Rip Sony's all I got to say.
Who's going to sell the most consoles? Who's going to sell the most consoles by the end of the year?
Nintendo. They already won. It's going to be Microsoft.
I don't know.
That 25.
Sony might not have enough consoles.
Well, that's the thing. Supply and demand. Sony's not going to have to do that to beat that. But I mean, so Xbox X, Xbox S, or Switch. Who sells the most consoles by the end of the year? Full year, 2020.
Switch.
Oh, meaning from the start of this year?
Yes.
Switch.
Oh, Switch.
Yeah, by far.
Because you can't have, well, obviously you can't have a 10-month head start and a quarantine.
Quarantine with Animal Crossing dropping at the same time.
Right,
you can't do that.
That's an unfair advantage.
Still can't find one.
Get them on the shelf.
Yeah.
No.
I saw that really somewhere. with like people were like overselling like stickers on the front, like Pokemon base, and there was like a Fortnite one coming out, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had like the was it gray and blue or something?
Blue and yellow or something.
Oh, those will sell for $1,000 on eBay easily.
Yeah. It's crazy. So they're making them. They're just not making them a lot of them. All right, send us an email, SpawnCampCouncil@gmail.com, and we can answer your questions on air. Maybe if you can join us in chat, we can answer them live. Great job tonight, gents. Where are you playing next week, and where can we find you in the real world, Robot?
You can find me OldDirtyRobot on Twitter, and tomorrow I will be refreshing my browser.
Good. SolidScorpionZ, what you doing this week?
You can find me at SolidScorpionZ on Twitter, and I have no plans for games except for reading more Frostmaiden.
Rhyme of the Frostmaiden, D&D. KingDawes, what you
got? You can find me everywhere at KingDawes, and then I will be playing some Destiny. I will be playing Destiny in about 30 seconds. And then you'll also find me drooling over Solid's new campaign and Adam's current campaign. I'm interested to finish up some Theros action.
Yeah, we've got about probably 3 weeks left in our Theros campaign, which just turned out pretty well. I'm enjoying it a lot. You can find me at Adam, the number 2 WELV, Adam212 on Twitter and all gaming platforms and whatever. Just hit me up, and I'll be glad to join you. Playing Destiny in about 31 seconds. And then spent like the last 9 days in Vermont doing absolutely nothing with no internet, and so I got really back into Red Dead Redemption 2. So I'll be most likely playing a lot of that this week coming up. I'm really enjoying being a cowboy again. So, all right. Thank you for watching and listening to Metagame. That concludes our cast. Keep an eye out for our next episode. Until then, remember, fear is the mind killer. Good night, everyone.